Right now. Why? Hey, good morning. It's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. It's Friday, the day before holiday. I hope everybody's excited. Go in and work. Have a great day. Get some stuff done. Holidays coming. Hopefully, you're going to enjoy and have some fun things planned for the weekend with the extra day. And if I could actually click on things, we'd be in good shape. And didn't think that was looking. Anyway, it's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. It is Friday, the day before Labor Day, a 3-day weekend here in the States, and then it's a 3-day weekend overseas for a lot of places. Hope everybody had a great week and survived and good and did some good stuff. And should be making a lot of content over the weekend. We give you a lot of different things to look at over the upcoming weeks and really get there. And here we talk about Agile stuff. My name is Greg Mester. I'm a Scrum Master and Agile coach. Just sharing information that I've gained over the years and managing, going through thousands and thousands of daily Scrums and hundreds of ceremonies and hundreds of teams and different companies across my background. It's just things I see. We talk about thought processes, Agile, and alike. And it could be in IT, it could be out of IT, it could be business, it could be different areas, different stuff we're doing. And today, just got a couple topics. And one of the things I'm revisiting is I had posted a blog post a while ago, and I just got to get away from taking my personal blog post, figure out how to get the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum, and go back and forth on how we do this, what makes more sense. Probably bring it, update some stuff and bring it up and post it on our site and convey things more through the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum just because there's more of a capability from a business thing on LinkedIn and other avenues. So anyway, one of the posts I had talked about before was I talked about a Google job because it's always fun. I always like looking at, and it's the weekend, who knows? People are going to be looking, oh, it's the weekend, I got 3 days, maybe I'll surf around on LinkedIn, look at new jobs, what's out there in the market, what is everybody looking at? Maybe take the 3 days and kind of do a long range planning. Maybe everybody takes time to say, where do I want to be in 6 months? Where do I want to be in a year? Where do I want to be in 5, 10, whatever years? It's actually a good practice to do that just to get you a feel where you want to go and just plan some time. You got 3 days to relax, decompress, dream a little bit, figure out where you want to go versus the high pace, gotta go. So you get an extra day to dream. So think about your dream, what you want to do. Not that I want to go work at Google per se, but you never know, the opportunity might come. But I like to share information that I see from an Agile perspective on what people are asking for jobs. So I saw a video that said, what do you do during a Google interview? And what I noticed is they said nothing about Agile. There's not one phrase about working in Scrum or Kanban or they don't use the term Scrum. They don't use the term extreme program. They don't use any of those terms. They don't use the term safe. But what they do is they talk about the interview, which I think is very underlining, very Agile-like questions and how they want you to act. So some of the points I wrote, and my favorite one, just get a laugh. Deliberately unspecified requirements. Well, at least they are conscious of understanding that that's what happens in real life, which I love about the Google ad environment. They actually ask you, you're not going to get everything written down in the requirement. Guess what? You have to ask questions to better understand what work is going to be taken up. Sound like refinement session? Sound like a sprint planning session and a tasking opportunity during sprint planning? Collaboration between people who are of different backgrounds, whether it be development, tests, databases, business, whatever. Very interesting, right? But nowhere do they say anything about working at a daily scrum. Nowhere. They just say unfinished requirements, right? They do it on purpose because they want they want to see if you can ask questions. If you can't ask questions, I'm guessing do not go put a job application for Google, right? Don't do it. So if, hmm, um, of course, Windows Update. I got a little flag. Woohoo! Windows Update. Just in time for Labor Day holiday. Great. Anyway, what do we think? We're actually doing a live show, right? Timing is everything. They don't care. But anyway, so that was one. And then it said, think out loud. I wrote that. A collaborative work environment and discuss before planning, before coding. They have very complex systems, very complex problems. The idea is that they want to have people talk about the issue before they start coding. You watch all the videos, you talk about people that really do development work and that people really don't know a thing they're talking about. That's why I tell people during sprint planning, take, a half hour or 5 minutes. We did a 5 minute sprint planning episode to pick the stories you want. Take the rest of the day and talk about it and task out the work and get some feedback how you want to tackle the problem so you can come up with a good solution. So I love the interview questions that was on YouTube, right? Because it matches kind of what I say. So no correlation, but watch the video for how to get hired in Google and watch my videos. And the scary part is that they're really in sync. Now, they don't talk about Agile and don't use the terminology, but the concepts are very much there. And there's one other one I wrote. Oh, which I thought was funny. There's another thing in the Google video that I noticed was a trend. One of the technical people said, we assume that if you can learn one program, if you already know one program pretty well and how to solve a problem, not necessarily that it's specific coding, that you can learn more programs. Now that's interesting because that is a telltale sign for, and it's very important. Not all programming languages solve all problems. And it's very important to have the capability to learn more than one program because different coding techniques solve different types of problems. So you may be the best C#, you may be the best Java, you may be the best .NET, you may, whatever. But that doesn't mean that's the best program to solve your problem. So what they're saying is that you have to be open-minded enough to be able, hey, I can't program this in, because I've done this back in the 90s when I used to code. And I found I write a program in some database language, right? And then I realized I was building a point of sale system. It was very early, touch screen, everything. This is back in 1995. I was building a touch screen system. And I learned in order to kick it off, and I taught myself that I had to do Visual Basic and so I had the database language. I had to teach myself overnight Visual Basic to code a little bit of code, just to do one thing on the item. So I was learning multiple coding languages, and that was like I had Visual Basic, but I had to basically teach myself overnight. So they want you to have the ability to quickly adapt to new languages for the best optimal solution coding wise for the problem. So that's a key thing. And if you say, and that actually leads to my next comment area we're going to talk about. It's not necessarily that person's best strengths to solve the problem. However, you have to have the ability to learn new strengths to solve problems. Anyway, so that's a Google thing. If you go on, you can look at Google Hire, how do you code, whatever. So I have fun by looking at what people are asking for job interviews. And I highly recommend everybody every once in a while go look at something you never really look at. That's why we look at this. Go look at the Google job interviews, and I'll look at other interviews and see if anybody else does that, and I'll bring them into this thing, and maybe others reference it. But it's very interesting. They talk a lot about Agile, use no terminology whatsoever on what Agile works. They want to know that you can collaborate with other people and work. So that leads on my next one. And I hope you're telling all your friends to like and subscribe to 5am Mester Scrum on YouTube. We also put LinkedIn. We're starting up a Facebook page. We're going to do a lot of stuff over this weekend. I'm hoping to get a lot of stuff done. We'll see, because the kids want to do a stay vacation and go do things and explore Philadelphia, right? So we'll see how that goes. And get to and just chill out for 3 days and do some family time. But I'm still getting up at for 5 a.m. Mester Scrum every day during a holiday because at this time of day, there's nobody here, so I can get stuff done. So this is why I get up as early. Um, so time box. And this leads to time box. And you're like, how do you get the time box? How does this come up? Someone was asking me, I always get questions about questions on exams. And I don't I like the questions in the thought process. And I'm going to talk about thought process, but I will not give you an answer on an exam. That is for your journey to figure out how to do that, because I participate in a lot of exam questions. So I don't answer exam questions, but I talk about the topics of the question, right? So keep sending them to me. If you got a question that is a tough exam question, like on the PSM or CSM or ACT or whatever, send those questions. Like if you have any practice questions that like, how do you do this? Those are great because we can have whole discussion question topics just on the questions themselves. So as you're taking those exams, please feel free to send me questions on that, and we'll hit them in the show, and I'll tag you back on what episode kind of discuss that question. And I don't really give the answer, but we will talk about it. So by the time you're done, you should have a better ability to answer those questions. But again, I do not tell you answer 2 or answer D or E or F, whatever. I don't give you that. But we'll talk about subject. So with that in mind, there was one about time boxing. Why time boxing? Why do we do it? So time boxing helps the team to learn that they have to be able to say no. If you don't have a time box, they'll just keep grabbing stuff, piling in and piling in and piling in, right? And just building it up, and you get nothing done. By time boxing it and practicing, and we talked about that too, the shorter the time box, the more times you can practice getting that stuff done. The less practice you have at time boxing. It helps teams say no, because sooner they realize that they can't get the work done, so they try to do all this work, and then in the end they'll be like, oh yeah, no, in a 2-week time box or 1-week time box or even 1-day time box, we can't get all that stuff done. We can get 1 done. We get 5 because we've had done enough time, but we got a good idea how many we can do. Now, if we get it done early and we think there's enough time to do it, we'll bring another story into the sprint from the next one that's been prioritized by the product owner, which we also talked about, right? Anyway, so they learn that how much they can really get done in that time box. So it focuses on people. And it's also one of the things was it's and here's a falsehood and a real sign of a very immature team. Here's what you would hear. Okay, we got this problem and it has to do with this system XYZ, or maybe it's a C# solution. So we're going to assign it to Jane because Jane is the only one who knows that system and the only one who knows how to program C#. So makes sense to give Jane because she has the most knowledge and she'll get it done quicker. If you hear that, that's a sign of a very immature team. We're going to try to talk too much on that one, but that's a very sign of an immature team, because It's not about the person who has the most skill set to get that work done in that time box. It's about the team collaborating during the team box and focusing on one or two problems at a time to get it done. That forces you. Again, if you hear someone say they have the most experience and most knowledge about the system, so we're going to assign it to them, this is a sign of a very immature team, and they haven't really progressed in this Scrum or Agile thinking mindset. So what you really want them to do, it's not about being closest to the problem set. It's about understanding and sharing that capability. You in a Scrum world, you want more people having those capabilities. So again, it's not about that. It's about getting the team to focus on some work during that period and saying no to other work, but having them focus, what can we get in the 2 week time frame? What can we get technically done by our team's definition of done? And working together in a collaborative environment, see Google question, collaborative environment to get the work done. And it's also see Google question, you can learn more than one coding language. That's the time box, right? So the time box is about people working together to focus on things. It's not about assigning to somebody who knows the best answer and closest to the problem. Got it? So that kind of goes around what we're doing, but I think it's funny. I had this and it relates to the Google ad. No correlation, but did you notice that the time box helps you focus and the answer is not someone who knows it and done it in the past? The answer is, how do we work together as a team and focus to get the best solution? Maybe it also involves, is this a training opportunity for one of the people in the team to learn a new process to come up with the answer? Business doesn't care as long as you come up with the answer. It doesn't care. So as long as the group comes with a good answer, that's the way. So that's talking about time boxes. So with that, we're going to close up 5am Mester Scrum. Always try to keep it within 15 minutes. It looks like we're at 17. I think we had too much fun because it's Friday and at the holiday and we're done. And you all have a great weekend. Looking forward to hear what fun things you did. I posted a video yesterday about the summer mummers. Thursday night, just relaxing. My wife was like, "You're on your phone doing your social media." I am relaxing. I'm enjoying the music and I'm just chilling out because the weekend's coming. We're gonna do some fun stuff, relax, enjoy, get some work done around the house, get some done at home, right? So you all have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Please like and subscribe 5am Mester Scrum. Tell your friends about it. We are going to put some stuff up. So next week, you should see a bunch of new stuff, new logo, new layouts, new information, right? That you can share, little bites that you can take into your work. And I don't care if you reuse it, put it in your training stuff, whatever you want to do. Have fun. And you have a great weekend. Enjoy. Take care and see ya. And we go.